Well, pouring out on the racetrack, car number 15, Bob Pennington, our point leader, our point champion, our Charger champion this year, the 1987 season. Bob will be receiving those honors. And our bencher, November 23rd. Bob Pennington this year. And Gunner is car number 18, one of our gal drivers. Ray Wilson in 30. David Hickman is 69. And Bob Pennington is at number 15 by the racetrack. You know, this is just a few of them. We've got a bunch of them out there tonight. I don't have a car count, but we've got a slew of NASCAR cars out there. A slew of them. I'll tell you what, Bob Pennington looks like he's got that car dialed in tonight.
Get the car off the back here, now I'll be racing late model. I got a lot of cars coming in late.
Here's the real treat tonight with the NASCAR Winston late models, a 50-lap main event. A 50-lap main event for these guys right here, and ladies, I should say. With a super nice purse for these folks tonight.
Sandy, are you down there? We got any more late models to add to the count?
By Banghar Carpet Service, Friendly Auto Sales, Engines, etc. Post-time Pub, Subway Sandwiches, and Rawlings Chrysler and Plymouth. And also Raven Raceway. And an extra.
Hi there.
Brings that first up for the NASCAR Charger division.
You notice I got my costume on tonight?
Yeah, so do I.
That's the first they had all year.
22nd Street today. Get one of these wild
They'd
masks.
also
My
put
wife
in
said
the
nobody would notice.
$1,000 for the
Nice.
NASCAR Winston late models tonight.
I got some insight on Mr. Ron with Lutz.
Dave Maness. Dave?
All right, we're getting ready to go here, Jack. Happy Halloween to everybody. Thanks for coming out. To the kids, we have been giving some prizes out. Want to tell Budweiser thank you very much for all the special door prizes they gave away tonight to all you guys up there and ladies that got canisters or tickets. There's a lot of neat prizes going to be given away during the evening. The weather's cleared up. I see stars up there, so it looks like we're going to get all the racing in. That's real neat. Got 50 lappers tonight. Be back at intermission time. We got a little skit we're going to do with you on the intermission time, and we'll roll the program right along tonight. So if Carolyn will accompany us here and do our annual thing. Everybody please stand, take your hats off, do the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job once again, Carolyn. Okay, got a couple announcements to make. The next 2 weeks of midget racing, we want you people to know and spread the word. We've got entries from Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania. We got Kevin Olson. We got Rich Vogler, who ran Indy this year. I believe he finished 9th. We got Stan Fox, who ran Indy this year. He's going to be here next Saturday night. So is Kevin Olson. So is Terry Winnie in the Skull Bandit car. We've got about 14 out-of-state entries that are coming in next week to tune up for the national event the week before. I'm looking for about 60 midgets on the 13th show here. It'll be a national program all the way. First one ever held in Tucson as a national points race. Roger McCluskey Jr. is going to be here entered. We may have Andretti Jr. in here. I'll know that later on this week. But we do have a fine, fine field coming. So the next 2 weeks is our closers. We want to thank all you people all year long. You've been super sports and good with the weather conditions, and you've hung it out. And we're looking forward to doing a lot more work around here this winter. And I got my lease, so we're going to be here for a long time. So we're going to go racing.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, race fans, for coming out and supporting Raven Raceway this year. And I'll tell you what, tonight, let's give these guys an extra big hand when they come out for their main events, because they've put on one good show for you this year. You know, side front position, 06 inside second row. As the rolling car leads them around at a fairly moderate pace. Gary's towing, going to make his way across the racetrack. Let's see if we're going to go green this time. George Camp, your flagman. Bob McKinley, your assistant flagman, off the number 4 corner they come. Camp gives them the green flag, and here we go in our first heat race for the NASCAR Chargers as 766, Mr. Hall leads them down the front straightaway. Out of turn number 2, everybody clean and green. They're bunching up just a little bit there, coming out of turn 2. Well, you could put a blanket over about 6 of them out there. Uh-oh, look out there. We're getting a little wide there. Number 111 up against the wall. Look out on the front straightaway here. And everybody makes it through. 65 getting a little bit wobbly there. But they made it around, and the green flag still flies. That's Don Hall in 766, your current leader right now. And Don leads him down the front straightaway. Track's still a little bit tacky. The number 91 car in second position. Haas Tillison, look out there! And we've got a smoker, and a couple of them, about 3 of them spun out there just beyond turn number 4. As you can see, it looks like he lost his radiator there, folks. So that brings out the yellow flag. We'll get the paramedics over there and check them all out. Let you know if they're okay or not. Boy, oh boy, he really smacked up that 39. That's Brett Kempton. And it doesn't look like Brett may be back out here tonight. I don't know. You never know. Brett is sponsored by Curtis Motor, Budweiser, Kempton Equipment and Center, and Midtown Service Center in that car number 39 of Brett Kempton. As the tow truck comes out, throws the hook on Brett. So, Brett Kempton having some early problems on tonight. Also looks like Mark Kuhn involved in this one. Mark gets the hook put on him. Mark is sponsored by Body Parts Store, Ace Transmission, A&A Dump Trucking, Arizona Frame and Axle, Highway Drive Repair Service. Mark Kuhn in car number 360, also involved in that accident. Well, your current leader is Don Hall in that 766 car. Right behind Don, Haas Tillis in number 91. I don't know if I want to mess with a guy named Haas. Of course, he's probably only about 5'2". I don't know. Just kidding, Haas. No, he ain't, somebody said. Oh, up. Mr. Haas Tillis in 91. Don Calhoun in 901, currently in third position right now. Don McMurrick in that 06 car, the Spudsmobile. in 4th position. Butch McCluskey in number 36. He's in 5th. Well, they've got them rearranged right now. So it looks like McCluskey is going to be in 6th position. As Gary's Towing having a very busy night early on tonight. Well, Mark Kuhn, good effort tonight. Hope he can get back out here for maybe the Consi or somewhat to that effect. Now McCluskey back in 5th. That's Gordon Langston in the 46 car right behind Butch McCluskey. As we get the track all cleared out, that's number 85 of Mark Stacy from Sierra Vista, sponsored by Golden Corral Restaurant, Discount Glass, and Archibald Insurance. Yellow flag still flying. George Camp tells the fellas one more time around. Doesn't look like we have any gal drivers in this one. Don Hall, 766, your current leader. He's sponsored by Body Parts Store, Arizona Frame and Axle. Mr. Haas Tillis driving 91. He's sponsored by Certified Auto Electric, Quaker State, Alpha Plumbing, Greco Painting, Lewis Design Communications. Haas Tillis in number 91. Don Calhoun in that 901, sponsored by IBIS Company. Don McMerrick, the Spudsmobile, sponsored by Golden Eagle Distributing, Brassfield Auto Parts, Sneak Joint Bar and Grill, Lancaster Pest Control, and Jeff's Matco Tools. Butch McCluskey in 36, right behind McMurray. Okay, here they go, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Let's see what George does. He eyeballs the rest of the track, eyeballs the drivers. Off the number 4 corner they come. George Camp gives him the green flag, and here we go as Don Hall leads him down the front straightaway. Hall opens up the gap just a little bit from Haas Tillis, but Haas closes it up going out of turn number 1 and into 2. Now back down the back straightaway they go. Don Hall looking mighty fine right now. Got that thing dialed in going into turn number 3. But here comes Haas Tillis in 91, breathing right down his rear. Haas comes on the inside. Hall keeps it on the center of the track. We've got one spun out and wobbly over there, turn number 4. If he can get it back going without stall of that machine, we'll keep the green flag out, and he does, and that will not bring out the yellow flag. We've got one spun out also, number 91. That's Haas Tillis, and look out, Haas over there on the back straightaway. Gets it back under control and loses that number 2 position now. So the 766 car of Don Hall in 2nd position. Here comes McCluskey overtaking Don McMurrick in that car number 06. McCluskey jumps out in the 2nd position as McMurrick falls back in the 3rd. Don Calhoun in 901 in 4th place right now. Lap number 4 in this 8-lap heat race for the NASCAR Chargers. Don Hall opens up the gap from McCluskey. McCluskey trying to throw out the line and reel in Don Hall in that number 766 NASCAR Charger. Hall gets a little wobbly over there, come out of turn number 2, but gets it back under control. McCluskey closes up the gap right now. Now he's right on his rear going around turn number 3. Hall looks like he's going to go wide. McCluskey takes the inside of the racetrack. Hall takes the outside. McCluskey cannot overtake him as Hall leads him into turn number 1. But McCluskey hangs in there right behind Hall and is still your current leader of Don Hall in that 766 car. Getting one a little wobbly right over here. That's that 007 car. That's Bernard McKerney. And here comes McCluskey now on the inside of Hall once again, but cannot overtake him on the front straightaway. So the battle goes on for 1st and 2nd place right now as Hall goes wide again. McCluskey pours it on. He's right almost side by side. Now he overtakes him just by an 1/8 of a fender. McCluskey on the inside. Hall goes wide. Once again, the white flag comes out as McCluskey overtakes Hall in turn number 4. Can Hall get it back? One more lap to go. The white flag out. Don McMurrick in 3rd position. 901 getting a little wobbly and side by side with 91 as they go into turn number 1. but they both get it back under control. But 91 hits the berm and gets a little wobbly over there. Here comes Butch McCluskey for the checkered flag, and he looks like he's going to get it. Car number 36, Butch McCluskey wins it with Don Hall in 7.66, falling back into third. Don McMurrick in 0.6 winds up in third position, and Don Calhoun in 9.01, the Chrysler car, winds up in fourth. Car number 91, who got a little wobbly there, Haas Tillis, looks like he came in the fifth. So some good, exciting racing right down to the finish there. McCluskey got ahead of him, but won this one. Let's give him a good hand. Car number 36, Butch McCluskey, winning the first heat race here at Raven Raceway on Halloween night. Good job, Butch. Dan Umphris in car number 10. Dan sponsored by Engines, etc. Lucky Larry Davis, the Friendly Auto Sales, Drake and Sons, R&M Auto Sales in that number 77 car. Bob Miller, 9T. Bob from Thatcher, Arizona, sponsored by Graham County Paints, Elders Communication, Bayless Market, Boulevard Sales, Golden Corral, Harrelson Tire, Fender Vendor, Idaho Trailer Sales, car number 9T, Bob Miller. Okay, here we go. All set up for an 8-lap NASCAR Charger event. Gordon Sams, your pole sitter, leads him around. Very slow, but George Camp gives him the green flag anyway. And here we go as Sams jumps out in front in that car number 23, the Halloween car, I call him. Sams takes the lead right away. Russell Cram in that car number 112 jumps right out in the second place, leaving Tom Lanny in the second position, or third position, I should say. And Lanny's losing it to that number 79 car of Ray Wilson. Gordon Sams, your current leader, leads him down the back straightaway. Russell Cram in 112 challenging him as they turn into turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Sams on the inside. Cram goes wide, overtakes Sam just for a moment perhaps. Let's see what happens as Cram jumps out in the lead. Gordon Sams falls back in the second. And Russell Cram in that number 112 machine pours it on down the back straightaway and opens up the gap from Gordon Sams. Ray Wilson in 79, that Sierra Vista car, now in third position, and he's challenging Gordon Sams, who is in second place. Dan Umphris in that car number 10, currently running in fourth. Here comes Pierre in that car number 25 in fifth place right now. And Pierre being challenged by a trio of them down the back straightaway. Lucky Larry Davis blows a right front tire and into the infield he goes as Russell Cram in number 112 pours it on and heads toward the back straightaway. Boy, has he got that car dialed in. Gordon Sams being challenged by Ray Wilson. Ray Wilson on the outside, Sams on the inside. Here they come into turn number 3 and 4. Let's see what happens. Sams keeps it low. Wilson tries to overtake him on the outside, but Wilson cannot pass him as Gordon Sams leads him into turn number 1. Here comes Dan Umphris in that car number 10, and Dan's making a good charge right now. Boy, what a battle we've got going on for second position. Sams on the inside, Wilson on the outside, Umphris right behind both of them. Russell Cram in 112 leads it all. Sams trying to stave off Ray Wilson in number 79. Ray goes a little bit wide, overtakes Sams and jumps into second place as Sams falls back in the third. But now Sams puts it on once again. Sams takes the low road. Wilson takes a high road, and we've got one spin out almost over here as 112, the leader, gets half his car knocked off, but still holds on to the lead. White flag out for that number 112. Can he hang on and win this one? Nope, it doesn't look like it. Looks like he may have lost a tire as Ray Wilson in 79 jumps out in front. Sams is going to pour it on, but I don't think Sams can catch him. Wilson comes down the front straightaway for the checkered flag. Yes, he's going to get it. And Ray Wilson from Sierra Vista, number 79, wins it as Gordon Sams falls into second place in that car number 23. Dan Umphris And car number 10 winds up in 3rd place, and Pierre in that car number 25 winds up in 4th. Lucky Larry not having so much luck tonight with the, looks like a flat tire or a problem with that right front. Well, here he is, the car number 79 from Sierra Vista. Let's give him a good hand, folks. Ray Wilson. Good job, Ray. Ray hung right in there. Shortest distance around the track on the inside. And many times your pole sitter wins the race, but not all the time. But if you're playing the odds, that's the place to be. That number 5 car is not involved in this race. He's going to be going around with the rest of the guys, but he's just trying his car out. There goes Rapid Roy Gibson in 61. Rapid Roy, one of our top contenders here at Raven Raceway this year. Always a competitor. Rapid Roy Gibson, car number 61. George Camp flies the green flag one more time, tells him one more, and we'll get this one underway. This is exciting. The NASCAR Winston late models. What a show they put on this year. Carl Moltner Jr., your pole sitter. Pat Carney in 05, outside front row. Robert Townsend inside second row. Paul Banghar outside second row. Herb Lang in 87 of the Lang Racing Team inside third row. Ken McCluskey, 11T, outside third row. Rapid Roy bringing up the rear in that car number 61, inside fourth row. Leroy Welch bringing up the rear, I should say. And Leroy driving that number 34 car the rest of this year. Off the number 4 corner they come. George Camp gives him the green flag, and here we go down the front straightaway as Carl Moltner Jr. leads him into turn number 1. Moltner on the inside, Pat Carney on the outside. Side by side they go, and Carney leaps out in front. And we've got one up against the wall by the Biff Baker Sign Company, or Fence Company, I should say. Biff Baker Sign. Jim Harris from El Paso, Texas, up against the wall on the back straightaway. Jim bringing it all the way in from El Paso, Texas. Jim sponsored by ASCO Incorporated, Car Parts and Machine, and Transportation Services Incorporated. And let's hope he's okay and the car's okay. As the fire crew and the ambulance get out there to check him out. So we did not get one complete lap under the green. This will be a complete restart, side-by-side restart. And they're checking him out now. Looks like he might have did a little bit more damage than meets the eye from here. Looks like he might have just lost control of that car, or something might have snapped. We'll give you a report just as soon as we get it. Well, he's okay, folks. Let's let him hear it over there. Jim Harris in number 54. Thank you, Jim. So that flag George Camp has in his hands, that red and yellow flag, is a complete restart flag. That means that we did not get one lap under the green, as I mentioned a moment ago, and we'll get it back underway as if the race never started. Side by side, Moltner on the outside, or inside, I should say, pole position. Pat Carney, 05, still on the outside. Townsend, still on the inside of the second row. Banghart should be on the outside of the second row. Herb Lang in 87, inside of the third row. Ken McCluskey in 11T, outside third row. So that means Rapid Roy Gibson will have Leroy Welch as his companion, as they will bring up the rear. Rapid Roy on the inside and Leroy Welch on the outside. Looks like they're going to put the hook on Jim Harris's car, number 54. A little tough luck for Jim, and bringing it all the way here from El Paso to race tonight. Jim Harris, at number 54. So just as soon as we get the racetrack cleared out, we'll be getting back underway. Should be a quick one tonight. Hey, you still have plenty of time to get your lucky number programs on sale for $1.50. We'll be giving away some really nice prizes right around intermission time. Budweiser night here at Raven Raceway. All the Budweiser folks out here rooting their favorite driver, Rick Sipes, in that Budweiser 4U car. Rick, one of our top contenders this year. So Gary's towing gets Jim Harris's car off the racetrack. Let's see if George Camp's going to go to the green. What do you folks think? Carl Moltner Jr. leads him around. Here they go, turn number 3 right now, headed for turn number 4. George Camp, Bob McKinney looks at him, gives him the green flag, and here we go into our first heat race in the NASCAR Winston late models. Pat Carney jumps out in front in that 05 car. Pat from El Paso, Texas, just like Jim Harris. Robert Townsend making a charge on Carl Moltner Jr. And Townsend almost overdrives it a little bit and falls back as Moltner Jr. jumps behind Pat Carney. And Moltner overtakes Carney as Carney goes wide down the back straightaway. But now here comes Carney once again. Carney looks like he might have lost a little bit of control there. Here they come down the front straightaway. Let's see who's going to be the leader. Here's that number 11 car trying to make his move on Moltner. Moltner's still your current leader. He's got company though, Pat Carney in 05 and car number 11, Ken McCluskey. And McCluskey jumps out in the lead. Moltner falls back to second, but they all have company. McCluskey leads him around. Moltner hangs on. Robert Townsend in 98, right in the thick of things with Pat Carney in 05. Down the back straightaway they go. You can put a blanket over those 3 cars right now. McCluskey pours it down, goes a little bit wide. Moltner holds it on the inside. Look out there, 05. Up against the berm he went. Ken McCluskey in 11T holds on to it. Here comes Townsend. Townsend overtakes him on the back straightaway. McCluskey falls back into second position. Moltner in third place, and Pat Carney in 05 and 4th. They're getting a little bit wobbly over there at turn number 4. Robert Townsend in car number 98 leads him down the back straightaway. Ken McCluskey in car number 11T catch Townsend. Townsend opens up the gap a little bit. Townsend holds it on the inside of the racetrack. So does McCluskey. Moltner Jr. almost getting tangled up with Pat Carney. And Ken McCluskey trying to throw out the line and reel in that number 98 car, who looks like he has it dialed in tonight. White flag out for Robert Townsend in that 98 machine. Ken McCluskey trying to catch him. Doesn't look like he's going to do it. Pat Carney in 05 in third position. Moltner Jr. in 4th. Herb Lang in 5th. Checker flag coming out for this guy. Don't overdrive it, Robert. Robert Townsend wins it. Ken McCluskey winds up in 2nd position. 05 car, Pat Carney in 3rd. Moltner in 4th. Herb Lang in 5th. And Rapid Roy Gibson winds up in 6th place. Wow, was that good racing? How about that? Let's give him a good hand, folks. Car number 98, Robert Townsend. Good job, Robert. Another good job by Ken McCluskey in car number 11T. Good, exciting NASCAR Winston late model racing. In this event, Mike Murphy in car number 51 on the pole position. Paul Francis in 84 outside front row. Perry Duffick 14 inside second row. Colin Germain outside second row. John Watson number 30 inside third row. John Marble 171 outside third row. David Chappa in the 318 inside fourth row. Eric Bass outside fourth row in the car number 4E. George Camp tells him one more time around. And I know he did it just for me so I can announce the rest of the guys. No, I think he's waiting on somebody. Okay. 5th row, Mike Rhea, number 34 inside. David Fox in the Smurf car? Roadrunner? Sponsored by the Tire Corral anyway. David Fox in car number 0. Sheila Van Hoff, one of our lady drivers, car number 22. Herb Penrod in 777 on the outside of Sheila. And bringing up the rear in the car number 55 will be Eric White. Third heat race for the NASCAR Chargers. Bob McKinley, George Camp, eyeball them as they come off of turn number 4. George gives them a late green. Here we go. NASCAR Charger Racing as car number 84 jumps out into the lead. That's Paul Francis with Colin Germain in the car number 7 right on Paul's rear. There's that car number 30 of John Watson, and John goes way wide up toward the wall, but he stays off of it and falls back in the 5th position. Paul Francis in 84, your current leader, but he's being challenged right now on the inside by that car number 7, our 2nd points leader here at Raven Raceway, of Colin Germain. Side by side they go into turn number 1. Look at Germain overtaking Paul Francis in that car number 7, that certified auto electric car. But we've got a couple, 3 of them over there spun out at turn number 2, and that will bring out the yellow flag. Up, it looks like John Watson in number 30 involved in that mishap. Colin Germain just overtook Francis on that lap. Let's see where the officials are going to position these guys. I don't believe he got 1 lap under the green with Germain out in front. Let's hope everybody's okay over there. That's car number 51 of Mike Murphy involved in that mishap with, looks like John Watson in number 30. I believe that's a Camaro. Watson over there involved in that. Lucky number programs for just $1.50. Run on back and buy a couple of them. Just $1.50. And I got all kinds of goodies I'm going to be giving away in a short while. I've got a windbreaker jacket from Budweiser, our corporate sponsor here at Raven Raceway. A hair care kit from Kathy's Beauty Studios. Goodyear cap from Certified Auto Electric. A couple of coolie cups from Budweiser. Cap from Sam Doty. Capital Trencher. Cap from Cochise Fuel and Oil. John down in Fort Huachuca there. A t-shirt from George's Automatic Transmission. A Budweiser or Brassfield Auto Parts cap. T-shirt from the Winston cap t-shirt from Friendly Auto Sales. A couple of coolie cups from Budweiser. A cap from Automotive Recyclers Incorporated. Windbreaker jacket. I believe that's from Budweiser. A cap from Cochise Fuel and Oil. We've already mentioned that. They're giving away a couple of them. Another cap from Brassfield Auto Parts. A t-shirt from George's Automatic Transmission. And a couple of those coolie cushions from Budweiser. And a couple of sun dashers. What's a sun dasher? Oh, I guess that's the thing that keeps the sun out. From the Arizona Air National Guard, who are our fire crew out here at Raven. Those guys do just more than fire. They're always out there helping out in any way they can. Okay. Now, the reason that car number 7 is not your current leader, because he took the lead, but he did not make 1 complete lap on the green flag. So what we do is we put them back where they were in position just before the yellow flag came out. So Paul Francis, when we get this one underway, he'll be your current leader. Right behind him will be Colin Germain in that car number 7. Perry Duffick in that car number 14. He's currently in 3rd. And look at that, David Fox coming up from the rear, currently in 4th position right now. And it looks like we're going to get that number 51 of Mike Murphy off the racetrack right now. We'll be getting back underway. Paul Francis leads him real slow. And sometimes the reason he does this is so the cars don't overheat, because they're out there for quite a while sometimes. Okay, car number 171, that's John Marble. He's currently in 5th position. Car number 55, Eric White, he's in 6th. 777 right behind Eric White. That's Sheila Van Hoff in car number 22. She's right behind Herb Penrod, who is in that 777. Sheila in 22. Ray Wilson, or John Watson, I should say, back in this one, in that car number 30. He's right behind Sheila Van Hoff. Mike Rea from Tucson, right behind John Watson in number 30. Number 38 car, David Chapa in 318, I should say, right behind Rea. Looks like 4E of Eric Bass. Bringing up the rear. Murphy out of this one. Looks like the track is clear. Let's see if George is going to give him up. Looks like Ray Judy down there at turn number 4 tells him one more time around. Yellow flag still flies. Paul Francis still will be your current leader. Now, if you haven't been out to the races before and you don't know any of these cars, each race pick out a car that, perhaps looks good to you or looks pretty or looks ugly or whatever. Pick out a car and root for your favorite driver. Now, I'm not prejudiced up here or anything, but you watch that car number 30. You see where he's at now. Let's see where he's at the end of this one. He's been a real charger this year, John Watson. I do not have any favorites up here, except for Marion Smiley, who's no longer with us. No, he didn't die. He'll be back next year. Okay, here they go into turn number 4. Paul Francis leads him around 3 and 4. George Camp gives him the green flag. Francis goes wide. Germain goes on the inside and tries to overtake Francis. Let's see what happens as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Paul Francis on the outside. Inside Colin Germain. For your lead right now, the 84 car and the 7 car. Number 30 car of John Watson, the car that I said, let's see what happens later, is losing his hood. Colin Germain jumps out in front of Paul Francis and jumps into the lead. Francis falls back into 2nd position. Perry Duffick in 14th is in 3rd, but Perry's being challenged by David Fox in that number 0 car. Fox on the outside, Duffick on the inside. Fox tries to overtake him on the back straightaway, but just cannot do it. Germain falling into 2nd place as Francis seesaws back and forth for the lead. Germain having a little bit of a handling problem, evidently winding back up into 2nd place. But Germain making a challenge on the back straightaway. Here they are side by side. Germain edges out in front just a little bit, but they're side by side again. Here they come through turn number 3 and 4. Francis on the inside this time. Germain on the outside. Germain goes a little bit wide, but brings it back in. Overtakes Francis again. They're side by side. Look at that racing, folks. Would you please? Side by side racing for the lead of this one. Germain on the outside down the back straightaway. Germain overtakes Francis. Francis falls back into 2nd position. And look at that guy right there. Car number 0, David Fox, making his way up in the 3rd position. Something happened to Colin. But he gets it back under control, and it looks like his car died out as your leader, Colin Germain, having some kind of a problem falling back into 4th place. David Fox almost overtakes Paul Francis, goes way wide. Here comes John Watson in number 30. Germain gets it back. Whatever happened to him, I don't know if it died out or what. Look at this, 3 cars coming down the front straightaway. What racing this is, my goodness. John Watson in that car number 30. Your current leader in this one. Colin Germain in 2nd position. Can Colin catch him because it's lap number 6 and headed for lap number 7. John Watson with his hood hanging off his car. We talked about him a little bit earlier, and he's now your current leader. Looks like Germain's car dies out again coming out of turn number 4. Here comes Paul Francis jumping into 2nd place. David Fox looking outstanding out there tonight in 4th place, or 3rd place I should say, and David Fox challenging for 2nd position. White flag out, last lap. George Camp has the checkered out. John Watson's going to win it, but look at the battle going on for 2nd place. Down the front straightaway they come. Will it be Fox or Francis? It's David Fox in 2nd place, and Paul Francis winds up in 3rd place. 777 jumping right in there, and boy, oh boy, you can't get much better racing than that. John Watson, the car number 30, wins it all the way up from the rear. My goodness, that was exciting. Well, I predicted he'd be up toward the front. I didn't realize he'd win it with his hood up. Hey, let's give that guy right there, car number 0, a good hand, folks, for coming in 2nd place all the way up from the rear. David Fox in car number 0. And he's already in the pits, that car number 30 from Tucson, the winner of this third heat race for the NASCAR Chargers, John Watson. And Colin Germain, you had her one, buddy, but you look like you got some kind of mechanical problem as he was dying out there. Harold Davidson in 454, Leroy Johnson in number 28, and Dannon Remsnyder in 013, a newcomer here to Raven Raceway in our fourth heat race, another 8-lap event. George Camp eyeballs him as they head into turn number 3. Larry Benetham in 141 leads him around. George Camp gives him the green flag, and here we go into our fourth heat race in the NASCAR Chargers. Look at that, Terry Gibson jumping right out in front of Benetham as they head into turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Benetham falling back into third position. Danny Hancock in 73 in third position right now, and there's that car number 97 of Eric Simonson in fourth position. The battle goes on. Danny Hancock winds up in third position as Benetham falls back into fourth. And Benetham being challenged by Eric Simonson in that car number 97. And Eric, a real Charger. Eric overtakes Benetham right now, and Benetham falls back into third position. Terry Gibson in 94 opens up the gap between him and Danny Hancock in car number 73. Here they come down the front straightaway. Your leader right there, car number 94, Danny Hancock in 73. And Eric Simonson in 97, and Larry Benetham. Norm Metcalf in number 62 on the outside of John Fetter. And Metcalf overtakes that 19 car for fifth position. Fetter falls back into sixth. There's car number 28 of Leroy Johnson, winds up in seventh position. Clean and green out on the racetrack right now. We've got a smoker of 383, Al Kern. Harold Davidson in 454 out there. Larry Artman putting on a charge right now, being challenged by 454 of Harold Davidson. Terry Gibson now being challenged by Danny Hancock, and Danny Hancock closing up the gap. Eric Simonson desperately trying to catch up. Larry Benetham and number 141 behind Eric Simonson. Hey, they're bunching up there at turn number 4. Look out there, Mr. Fetter. You've got company of that car number 28 of Leroy Johnson, and Leroy right behind Fetter, going into turn 1 and 2. Leroy tries to take Fetter on the inside. Leroy tries to take Fetter on the outside. Fetter brings it down the center of the racetrack. We've got a new leader of Danny Hancock in number 73 as Terry Gibson in 94 falls back. Eric Simonson making his move right now on Terry Gibson in that 94 car. Eric driving number 97. Larry Benetham falling back, way back, about a quarter of a racetrack back. Okay, Danny Hancock now running into traffic. Number 383 of Al Kern ahead of him, and Hancock is going to have to overtake that number 383 car of Al Kern. Hancock goes on the inside. Kern moves over for him. Here comes Terry Gibson in 94, and he's really being challenged by Simonson right now. But time is running out. White flag out. One more lap to go. Hancock leads this one. Gibson desperately trying to catch him, and Simonson desperately trying to get in front of Terry Gibson. Half a lap to go for Danny Hancock in car number 73. Terry Gibson doesn't look like he's going to catch him. Here he comes around the home straightaway. Checker flag flies for Danny Hancock in 73. Terry Gibson winds up in second. Eric Simonson winds up in third position. And that was some good close racing. Larry Benetham, I believe, in 141, wound up in fourth. Uh-oh, it's not over, folks. They're still going at it out there. All right, guys, yellow flag's out, checkered's out. It's all over with. Let's give him a good hand, folks. He just pulled into the pits. Car number 73 of Danny Hancock. Division. The 4 Sure car of Steve Neff will be your pole sitter. Darrell Fisher in car number 3 on the outside front row. Carmen Griffin in 80 inside second row. Mark Schmidt in car number 59 outside second row. Tony Izzo inside third row. Todd Izzo running late models tonight. Jerry McCartney in 107 outside third row. David Henkin in 69 inside fourth row. Pamela Fetter of the Fetter Racing Team outside fourth row. Ron Bishop, 98. Jeff Johnson, 88. Jeff Dwight, 11. Jim McCargy in 555, and Danny Kaiser in 316. Steve Neff in For Sure smells green, and Texas starting here. Looks like a Texas start, and George is not too happy about that because he was just getting ready to let the green flag fly. And I'll tell you what. Oh, I guess it wasn't Neff. I think it was Mr. Fisher in number 3 doing a Texas start. He's supposed to follow that car, number 4. That's your pole sitter. That's the guy that paces him. He does that again. George Campbell black flag him. You can bet that. Okay, here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag flies for Steve Neff, Darrell Fisher, side-by-side racing. They come down the front straightaway. Car number 80, Carmen Griffin in 3rd position right now with Tony Izzo in the car number 02 jumping out into 4th place. Tony side-by-side with Griffin. Neff out in front in that For Sure car with Darrell Fisher right on his heels. And Izzo goes wide, and here comes Ron Bishop on the inside of Izzo. In that car number 98, Bishop, a real charger this year. Izzo goes wide, Bishop down the inner part of the racetrack, and Izzo overtakes Bishop. Steve Neff in the car number 4, Sure, your current leader with Darrell Fisher right on his heels. And look at that Carmen Griffin in the car number 80. He's not out of this one. Here's Tony Izzo in 02 making his way back up in the 4th place. Car number 69 is David Henkin. He's in 5th place right now. But here comes Ron Bishop in car number 98 challenging David Henkin. Steve Neff in the For Sure car. Gonna run into a little bit of traffic in that 555 car of Jim McCargy. Neff goes on the outside. Fisher decides to take the inside road. Fisher overtakes Neff down the front straightaway as Neff falls back in the 2nd position. Now Neff bumps him just a little bit. Here they go into turn number 1 and 2. But Darrell Fisher opens up the gap just about a car length. Down the back straightaway they go. Darrell Fisher currently leading this one, but Steve Neff putting on a challenge. Darrell Fisher takes the inroad. Neff takes the outside. Fisher holds him off, but Neff tries to catch him. Now here they come into traffic, and Fisher's going to run into traffic, and Neff isn't, because Neff is going to go on the outside. But no, what a move by Darrell Fisher in that car number 3, overtaking that lap car of number 316 of Danny Kaiser. Darrell Fisher still currently your leader, but what a battle we've got going on for 1st place. Look at that Fisher and Neff. Neff overtakes him. Here they go into turn number 1. What's going to happen now? You can't get much better than this. Side by side they go, down the back straightaway. Now Fisher overtakes Neff. Neff goes wide, up against the wall, and brings it back down the center of the racetrack. I don't think I'm going to have a voice for tomorrow's race. Darrell Fisher in car number 3, still your current leader. Green flag flying all over the racetrack. Good driving by these guys. Carmen Griffin in the car number 80, currently in 3rd position. Look at that, Tony Izzo holding on to 4th place right now, and Ron Bishop trying to make his way up as David Henkin falls behind Ron Bishop. Darrell Fisher still your leader, but he's got company with that man, Steve Neff. But look at that, 1 more lap to go. 1 more to go for Darrell Fisher if he can just hang on. Look at this, this is going to go right down to the finish. Fisher runs into traffic. Neff follows right behind him. Oh my goodness, it's going to come right down to the checkered flag. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Darrell Fisher, Steve Neff. Who's it going to be? Neff, Fisher, no, it's Darrell Fisher, and Steve Neff winds up in 2nd place. Carmen Griffith in 3rd, and Tony Izzo in 4th position. And that guy did not take a cool-off lap. Who was that? Into the pits he goes. Boy, oh boy, you can't get much more exciting racing than that. And what a good job by Fisher and Neff, exchanging the lead several times. Well, he deserves it, folks. Let's give him a good hand. That car number 3 of Darrell Fisher. Hey, come on, let's give him a good hand, too. He really put on a show. For Sure car, Steve Neff. Good job, fellas. This is his first race ever in a late model. And when he comes down the front straightaway, let's all stand to our feet and cheer him on and make him feel welcome in the late model division. Todd Izzo in car number 23. I'll tell you what, you don't know what that means to that guy right there. That really gets his adrenaline flowing. Let's hope Todd does well in this one. He's not a rookie driver, but I'll tell you what, late model and Chargers are like night and day. Jamie Throckmorton Jr., your pole sitter for this second heat race in the NASCAR Chargers. The NASCAR Winston late models, I should say. Who said Chargers? Boy, I'll tell you. They're Chargers, all right, but they're the NASCAR Winston late models. Jamie Throckmorton Jr. leads him down the back straightaway. Here we go. Let's see if Mr. Camp's going to give him the green. Bob McKinley and Camp confer together. Out of the last corner they come. Off the number 4 corner they come. Throckmorton gets the green, and down the front straightaway they go. Wayne Noyes overtakes Throckmorton down the front straightaway as Throckmorton falls back into second place. Dwayne Lang in number 88 in third position. There's that car number 75, Jeep Barry, in fourth position right now. Wayne Noyes in 50. From Phoenix, Arizona, your current leader. Jamie Throckmorton Jr. in B52 in second place, being challenged by Dwayne Lang in that car number 88. Jeep Barry in number 75B in fourth place. Look out, Throckmorton getting a little bit wide there, but brings it back down. Billy Brandon, Bronco Billy Brandon, driving that car number 6 in fifth place with Mike Hancock in 73 and 6. Lou Malandrone in 7th. And the car number 66, Marty Pike in 8th. And Todd Izzo currently running in 9th position. Wayne Noyes in that car number 50. That's your current leader. There he is right there. 50, number 1. And look at this down the front straightaway. Dwayne Lang on the outside of Throckmorton. Lang overtakes Throckmorton as Throckmorton falls back into third position. But look at the battle we've got going on for second place right now. And Throckmorton jumps back out in front of Lang. They ran into a little bit of traffic, but they're in traffic right now. Here they come. 4 cars down the front straightaway. Dwayne Lang jumps out in front of Throckmorton again. And Jeep Barry in 75 still in the thick of things. Who's it going to be? Dwayne Lang, I should say. Not Wayne. Dwayne Lang. Okay. Todd Izzo goes into the pits on his first late model race. Wayne Noyes in car number 50, way out in front of everybody. Dwayne Lang in number 88 in second position, being challenged right now by Jeep Barry in 75. White flag comes out for Wayne Noyes in car number 50. Throckmorton falls back right behind Jeep Barry in that 75B car from Grand Junction, Colorado. Here comes the checker flag. Looks like it's going to be Wayne Noyes from Phoenix, car number 50. Dwayne Lang going for second position. Does he get it? Yes, he does. Jeep Barry in 75B winds up in third as Jamie Throckmorton Jr. in the car number B52 winds up in fourth position. A little bit of tough luck there for Mr. Throckmorton. Good job, impressive job by Wayne Noyes in 50. Well, let's give him a good hand, folks. The car number 50 of Wayne Noyes. Thanks for trucking her all the way down from Phoenix, Wayne. Good job. Dwayne Lang winds up in second position. Jeep Barry in 75B winds up in third. Jamie Throckmorton Jr. in fourth. And the rest of the field, Billy Brandon, Mike Hancock, Lou Malandrone, Marty Pike, and Todd Izzo in his debut as a late model driver, winding up in the pits in this one. Let's hope Todd can make it back out here for the main event tonight. It's in J7, Jack from Phoenix, Arizona, outside of that front row. Kevin Clayton in 44, he'll be on the inside of the second row. Ron Lutz, or Lutz, whatever you want to call him, car number 9, outside row number 2. Inside row number 3, none other than Carl Trimmer in the spirit of Vicky Lynn. Inside row 3. Jack Cocott in car number 94, outside of row 3. Wes Meeks in the car number 5, bringing up the rear with Terry Green in car number 14 on the outside. Let's see, I don't see Terry Green out there in the number 14 car. Here he comes. Also have another one out there. We didn't announce that. Car number 32. So we give him one more lap under the yellow. Is that the North Star you're pointing at, George? Rick Sipes in the Budweiser 4U car, your pole sitter on a Budweiser Halloween night. Terry Green in that car number 14, bringing up the rear. So let's see if we're going to go green this time. Sipes leads him down the back straightaway. Sipes responsible for the pace. And Jack Ickes in car number J7 responsible for staying next to Sipes, leading him around turn number 3. Here they come around turn number 3 into turn number 4. George Camp looks at him, gives him the green flag, and look at this, boy. Sipes brings him down the front straightaway. Ickes bumps him a little bit on the side, but Sipes overtakes him and jumps out into the lead. And here comes Ron Lutz in the car number 9. Side by side he goes with Ickes for a second, but Ickes falls back into 5th place. There's Carl Trimmer. He's in the thick of things right now and currently in 4th place. Rick Sipes, your leader. Ron Lutz in the car number 9 in 2nd position. Jack Kokot in 94 in 3rd position. That's Dick Fogg in car number 32 out there. Dick from Chandler, Arizona. He's bringing up the rear. Car number 32 of Dick Fogg. Okay, Rick Sipes in the Budweiser 4TU car. 4TU, sure, why not 4TU? Rick Sipes in 4U car with Ron Lutz being challenged right now by Carl Trimmer and Jack Kokot. Lutz currently in 2nd place. Here comes Trimmer. And Trimmer right now in 3rd position, overtaking Kokot. And let's see if he's going to be able to catch that Budweiser 4U car of Rick Sipes. Trimmer behind Ron Lutz in that number 9 car. Kokot behind Trimmer. Trimmer tries to take him on the outside, but cannot overtake him. Let's see if Trimmer tries to take him on the inside. Will Lutz let him in? Nope. Lutz holds it on the inside. Yellow flag flies as Dick Fogg, our latecomer from Chandler, Arizona, spins it out on the back straightaway. And this will close up the gap and make it more interesting. Woohoo! And I'll tell you what, Ron Lutz looking real good out there in that car number 9, that Southwest Stucco car. And the lineup is good. And what we mean by good is the way you see him is what you get. So it will not be a complete restart. Rick Sipes in the Budweiser 4U car. I mean, this guy is a real competitor. I mean, he just drives that car and really competes all year, but he's colorblind. That was the yellow flag, Rick. Not the green. Okay, Rick, just kidding you a little bit. Green flag flies now, catches them all sleeping at turn number 4. Do you believe it? But Rick Sipes isn't sleeping as he opens up the gap from Ron Lutz in that car number 9. Kevin Clayton in that car number 44 toward the back of the pack now as Carl Trimmer and Lutz go at it side by side as they turn into turn number 2, or 3, I should say. Trimmer overtakes Ron Lutz. Ron hits the berm, and Lutz up over the berm and really kicks up the dust. As Trimmer jumps in the second place in that Vicky Lynn car number 74. And the yellow flag comes out. That brings out the yellow, as nobody can see what's going on there with Ron Lutz in that car number 9. You guys think that track's a little dry on the inside over there? I think so. That's very obvious. So now that keeps Sipes out in front, but look who's right behind him, Carl Trimmer. So this is really going to be interesting. And look who's behind Trimmer and looking mighty fine tonight. And that's a car number 94 of Jack Cocott. And Jack, a real charger and competitor this year here at Raven Raceway. Jack Ickes from Phoenix. We've seen him down here a few times in that J7 car. Kevin Clayton in 44, he's not out of it. Green flag flies once again. Lutz is put toward the rear of the pack. Budweiser car leads him. As Carl Trimmer is going to be putting the challenge on Rick Sipes right now. Let's see if Sipes can hold off Trimmer. Sipes down the back straightaway. Trimmer right on his heels. And look at that, Cocott right on Trimmer's heel. And looks like Mr. Terry Green spun out on the back straightaway, bringing out the yellow flag once again. Green gets it back under his own power, but that's still, these cars are so fast. George Camp selects, and wisely selects, to bring out the yellow flag, and a real wise move by our safety and premier flagman of George Camp. Good job, George. He's made some really good decisions this year. Only dropped a couple of flags. 1-9. Okay, lineup's good. Rick Sipes in the Budweiser 4U car is still our leader. And how many laps do we have down? 4 laps down, 4 more to go. I'll tell you what, this is some real close competition tonight. 4 laps down, 4 to go in this 8-lap event. Rick Sipes brings him around turn number 3. George Camp looks at him as they head toward turn number 4. Green flag flying once again. The green lights are on, and here we go. As Rick Sipes leads Trimmer into turn number 1 and 2. Let's see if Trimmer can overtake Sipes. Trimmer right on Sipes' rear right now with Jack Cocott hanging right in there, and Jack Ickes J7 right behind Cocott. Trimmer real close to Ricky Sipes in that Budweiser 4U car. Uh-oh, look at that. Trimmer on the inside. Sipes goes a little bit wide and almost gives Trimmer the opportunity to overtake him, but Trimmer could not take advantage of it. Sipes squeezes on the inside of turn number 2. Trimmer looking for every opportunity to overtake that Budweiser 4U car. Both of these men top contenders here and all through Arizona. Sipes takes it wide once again as Trimmer holds the inside road. But Sipes brings it back down on the inside. Oh, look at that. Cocott falls back behind Ickes, and Ickes jumps out into second place, but Cocott overtakes him once again as number 32 spins out of Dick Fogg and that car number 32, and that's his second spin, and that will bring out the black flag for that man in car number 32 from Chandler, Arizona, of Dick Fogg. 2 spins and you're out in this late model division. 6 laps down, so it's going to be somewhat of a dash to the finish. Some good, exciting, close competition. Carl Trimmer had an opportunity there, as you've seen, coming out of turn number 4. Rick went a little bit wide, and Trimmer had the opportunity to catch him on the inside, and for some reason could not overtake him. But it's not over yet. Checkered flag flies. It's either going to be one of those guys right out there. Rick Sipes, Trimmer, Cocott, Ickes, who knows, even Kevin Clayton, Wes Meeks, Terry Green, Dick Fogg, being black flag, Ron Lutz still in the thick of things. Ron in 5th position right now. Close competition up front, close competition in the middle. Did you see the battle going on between car number 94 of Jack Cocott and Jack Ickes and J7? Seesawing back and forth. Look at that. Ron Lutz in car number 9 was at the back of the pack and making his way up toward the front. Now, are they going to be sleeping this time? No, they're not. Rick Sipes puts the pedal to the metal and leads him down the front straightaway as Carl Trimmer once again is going to try to overtake Sipes, but I think the yellow flag is going to fly because we've got one down here on the front straightaway. Yellow flag flies as Rick Sipes leads him toward a spun-out car just beyond turn number 4 on the front straightaway. Looks like Wes Meeks from Globe, Arizona, and he gets it going. So we don't need the tow truck. Let's see if we can complete this late model race. Rick Sipes, your Budweiser car on a Budweiser night here at Raven Raceway, leading them on a round. Camp looks at him once again. Out of 3 and 4 they come. Nobody sleeping this time. And the green flag flies as Rick Sipes, Carl Trimmer, Jack Cocott, Ron Lutz, Jack Ickes, Kevin Clayton, Wes Meeks, Terry Green, and Ron Lutz all battling for the lead. Look at that. Lutz in 4th position right now as Ickes falls back into 5th. One more time around for that man. Let's see if he can hold on to it. You know that Carl Trimmer's going to pour it on right now. Is Rick Sipes going to let him by? No, he's not. Rick keeps it on the inside. Trimmer's going to try to overtake him. You can bet your bottom dollar on this. Look at this, right down to the checker flag. Cocott's not even out of this one. You never know. Here comes Trimmer on the inside. Sipes on the outside. Carl Trimmer wins it as Rick Sipes winds up in 2nd place. My goodness, at the checker flag it goes. Jack Cocott winds up in 3rd. And look at that, Ron Lutz winds up in 4th. Let's give him a good hand. The car number 74, the spirit of Vicky Land, Carl Trimmer. And let's give him a good hand too, folks. The Budweiser car, Budweiser for you of Rick Sipes. So Carl Trimmer wins it. And that car number 74, the spirit of Vicky Lynn. Rick Sipes in the Budweiser car winds up in 2nd. Jack Cocott in 94 winds up in 3rd. And Ron Lutz, doing a whale of a job of driving, winds up in 4th position. Oh, and we do. Everybody's sleeping over at turn number 4. And here we go for the consolation race for the NASCAR Charger. And look at the battle we've got going on. Larry Artman in car number 99 jumping out front. Look out, Larry! And Larry getting smacked over there. We've got a couple of them spun out. And we've got a spin or two on the back straightaway. Looks like 99 of Larry Artman and number 12 car of Gary Williams. Okay, Bernard McKernan, 007 out there. Bernard, sponsored by Arizona Frame and Axle, Highway Drive and Repair. Gary Williams in car number 12. And Gary sponsored by Frederick Quills, Banks Transmission, and Millie's Auto Salvage. Mike Araya from Tucson sponsors himself in car number 34. Larry Artman in car number 99, sponsored by Bar 22 at 950 South Wilmot. Big Old Tires at North Oracle and WW Enterprises. Pamela Fetter in the car number 18, sponsored by Caboto Pontiac, Aweco Welding, Metro Oil Service, Astrolite Battery, Ken's Exxon, El Campo Tire, Johnny's Restaurant, Gary's Towing, Sparks Cycle Supply, Offmas Used Cars, WW Enterprises, Dealers Auto Parts, P&J Recycling, Desert Cooling Specialists, Simon Driving Shaft and Machine, or Drive Shaft and Machine Shop. And that's just one car number 18 of Pam Fetter. George Benedum in car number 111, they call him the Bounty Hunter from Wilcox. George sponsored by Benedum Engines and Dunnigan Towing and Banks Transmission. John Spearman in 05 driving the Chris Dobbs car tonight, and he's sponsored by Gorello Masonry, GMD Masonry, Northside Tile. Car number 05 of John Spearman. David Chapa in 318. David sponsored by Matco Tools and Sincerely Ceramics and Constantly Cleaning. I wonder if that's him or his wife. Okay, 318 of David Chapa. Well, it looks like we lost 007 of Bernard McCurney. He was the pole sitter on this consolation race. Al Kern in 383, Al from Marana, sponsored by Al's Mobile Home Movers, Lynn's Transmission Builders. Jeff Johnson in car number 88, Jeff sponsored by United Auto Brokers and Aqua Clear Pool Service. Mark Kuhn in number 360, Mark sponsored by Body Parts Store, Ace Transmission, A&A Dump Trucking, Arizona Frame and Axle, Highway Drive Repair Service. Jerry Wallace in 222, Jerry sponsored by Wallace Racing, El Campo Tire, Chassis or Classy Limo, I should say, I keep doing that, Blues, Carr Auto Salvage, and Mariposa Transportation. Here they come around turn number 4. We'll get to the rest of them shortly. Green flag flies for this consolation race as car number 111 of George Benedum jumps out into the lead with Mr. Fetter, or no, that's Mrs. Fetter in car number 18 in second position. Look at him bunching all up. Benedum, your current leader with Pam Fetter on Benedum's rear. And Fetter's got some company coming down the front straightaway. They're both smoking. That's the 05 car of John Spearman, currently in fourth position. Fetter loses it up there at turn number 1. And I don't know what happened to her. And that just might bring out the yellow flag. Let's see if Pam can get it back under control. George Camp waited as long as he could and brought the yellow flag out as Pam Fetter. Something happened to that vehicle. It just spun out there at turn number 1, but now she gets it back under control again. Does she have a flat tire? I think she does. It looks like she's got a flat on the right rear, and she's going to try to make an Indy pit stop in the pits. You can bet your bottom dollar on that because she wants to get into the semi-main event. So a little tough luck for that car number 18, who was in third position or second position at the time she blew that tire. Okay, where'd we leave off? Mark Kuhn in 360. Mark sponsored by Body Parts Store, Ace Transmission. Oh, we already said Mark. Okay, A&A Dump Trucking in 360. Eric White, and Eric sponsored by Two Guys Pizza, City of Cars, and Big O in the car number 55. Gene King in 82S. Gene sponsored by Amsoil Fuel Synthetic, Clark Tire and Auto Center in car number 82S. Danny Kaiser, number 316. Danny sponsored by Recharge Battery Company, Vance Goodman's Tire Company, Redo It Body and Custom car number 316 of Danny Kaiser. Brett Kempton in car number 39, and Brett is from Pima. I guess that's Pima, Arizona. And he's sponsored by Curtis Motors, Budweiser, Kempton Equipment Center, Midtown Service Center, car number 39 of Brett Kempton. Lucky Larry Davis in the car number 77. Larry sponsored by Friendly Auto Sales, Drake & Sons, R&M Auto Sales. Car number 77 of Lucky Larry Davis. John Marble in car number 171. John sponsored by Precision Small Engine, Cotman Transmission, Tucson Wrecker Pool. Car number 171 of John Marble. Dannon Rimsnyder, 013. Dannon sponsored by Motor City West, Suntrax Trailer Sales, Jeff's Matco Tools, Joe's Auto Machine, and Arizona Mobile Bank or Brake of car number 013 of Dannon Rimsnyder. All right, Jim McCargy in car number 555, looking for a sponsor. You want to get involved in racing and don't want to drive a car? Sponsor Jim McCargy in car number 555. Speaking of 555, 5.95 of Marvin Catlin, and Marvin's sponsored by Fashions 5, a corporate medical center, Japanese and German auto service, AAA Lock and Key, R&S Auto Supply, Nasty Septic Systems, Eastside Engine Specialty, D'Angelo Roofing. First year racing, Marvin Catlin, and green flag flies for George Benedum. We also have Fred the Scamp, Thomas Palmer, and Maynard Miner in 00 out on the racetrack. George Benedum in car number 111 leads him down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Benedum with the not all that comfortable of a lead, but he is the current leader. Car number 360 is in second place of Mark Kuhn. Well, we're getting a little bit wobbly here in car number 82S, but he gets it back under control, so that does not bring out the yellow flag. Benedum, your current leader, with Mark Kuhn in number 360 and John Spearman in 05 right behind Mark Kuhn. And look at that, lucky Larry Davis is now in 4th place from way in back of the pack. But here comes Marvin Catlin in 5.95. Marvin going wide, Larry taking the inside road, trying to overtake John Spearman. So the battle goes on. Catlin side by side with lucky Larry Davis. Oh, we've got one, whoa, up and over. And I mean to tell you, that one flipped good over there. Not what I call good, but flipped it over there at turn number 4. And boy, oh boy. So we'll give you a report just as soon as we have it, but tell you what, that one flipped and flipped and flipped. And we'll give you a report just as soon as we have it. Looks like Mark Kuhn in that car number 360. And folks, we've got expert paramedics over there and fire crew and tow crew. But Mark Kuhn in 360. And Mark flipping her like a midget over there, but we'll give you a report just as soon as we get the information. Mark was currently in second position. So, folks, we'll give you a report just as soon as we hear. So, one of the very few times this year, the red flag is out. Yeah. Well, that's Mark Kuhn in 360, and yes, folks, he is okay. And I want to tell you, he flipped that car harder than I've seen any car flip this year. His engine and transmission came out of the car onto the racetrack, and his roll cage, a good job, whoever welded that thing, held up real good, just destroyed that automobile, and did not destroy him, thank goodness, of Mark Kuhn in the car number 360. Now, we're putting him in the ambulance. As you see, he's in the ambulance. We're going to bring him into the infield. He's conscious and everything. The guys are going to check him out. And I think he can hear you, folks. Let's give him a good hand right there. Number 360, Mark Kuhn. Oh, boy, I tell you what, like I said before, this isn't golf. This is auto racing, and it can be a dangerous sport. And not too many of these guys have flipped it this year, just a couple of them. But Mark Kuhn, who was in second place at the time and a real charger this year, flipping her over. Okay, red flag still out, but we'll be getting back underway shortly. All right, while we have a few moments here, folks, you remember those free tickets that you got for the drawing? Go ahead and yank them out of your pocket. I'll give you a couple seconds, and we'll go ahead and give those away. Brought to you by Budweiser and Golden Eagle Distributors. It's Budweiser tonight. We got any Bud folks out here tonight? I think that was more than just the employees. That's a few of them drinking that Budweiser. Okay, get your stubs out, and I'll call out these numbers while we have a few minutes here. And you've got 5 minutes to walk back to the van and pick up your prize, okay? 5 minutes to walk back to the van. You got your stubs all out and ready? Your cigarette lighter so you can see the number? Okay, for the Budweiser Ice Chest. This is a beautiful Budweiser Ice Chest from Budweiser on a Bud night. If your lucky number is 7, this isn't the programs now. This is those stubs that we gave you, those tickets when you came in the gate. They were free tonight. If your number is 782-804, 782-804, you've got 5 minutes to get over to the Budweiser van in the concession area and pick up your Bud Ice Chest. Now this is beautiful here. It's a Budweiser clock from Budweiser and Golden Eagle Distributors. If your number is 782-057. There's the motor out of the car right there. Would you look at that? Transmission hanging there? Thank goodness the driver was okay. Mark Kuhn and that number 360. Hey, look, just before I call out the next number, that last number was 782-057. Let's talk about Mark a little bit. He's from Tucson. Owner is John Hall. He's sponsored by Body Parts Store, Ace Transmission, A&A Dump Trucking, Arizona Frame and Axle, and he's going to need a frame and axle after this one tonight, huh, folks? Arizona Frame and Axle and Highway Drive Repair Service. Mark Kuhn and car number 360. Thanks for coming, Mark. I doubt if you're going to make it back into Maine. Yeah, you never know. Okay. An antique box. This is an antique box from Budweiser. If your lucky number is 782-177. 782-177. Head on over to the Budweiser van in the concession area. No. And his wife is expecting a child. She's in there. She's a little excited right now, but Mark's doing okay. He's all conscious. His wife is still conscious, and who knows, maybe we'll have our first baby here at Raven Raceway. No, she's okay, but she's a little nervous. I'll tell you what, if that was your... No? She's not pregnant? That was Dave going, no, no. I thought he was going, no, she's not pregnant. He goes, no, I don't want no babies being born here. All right, yellow flag is out right now. The track is all clear. We'll be getting this one back underway. George Benedum in number 111, your current leader. Car number 05 of John Spearman is in second position. Look at that. At the back of the pack, she's back out here. Pam Fetter got that tire change, taking advantage of the yellow flag. And when you look at this guy right here coming up from the rear in that car number 77, Lucky Larry Davis, currently in third position. Here's a guy that was just about last place, car 5.95 of Marvin Catlin. And don't count that number 88 out. and 383 and 82 and 00 171 and 318 and 22 and 99 and 54 and 12 and 87, 316 and 18. And that's how they stack up. Well, Linda Manus, if you're in the reach of my voice, I just want to say one thing. That was the best Coke I've drank out here all year. So George Benedum in number 111, your current leader with, look at that guy, John Spearman. And John relatively new here this year at Raven. No, not all that new. 05 in second position. Lucky Larry Davis, the man that's in third position. Marvin Catlin, 5.95. Fashion's 5 car. All right, here we go. Green flag flying, and hope that ambulance doesn't come out that exit over there. Okay, George Benedum leads him on around. Look at Lucky Larry Davis challenging John Spearman right now. Larry on the inside, Spearman on the outside. Lucky Larry Davis almost side by side down the back straightaway. Everything clean and green. Spearman goes wide. Larry takes advantage on the inside. Side by side they come. Larry jumps out in the third position as John Spearman in 05 falls back, but John now pours it on, and they're side by side once again. Larry up against the berm. Oh, look at side by side racing for those two cars. Uh-oh, here comes Marvin Catlin in that 5.95. Oh, and he's wide. Uh-oh, look out, 05. Number 18, Pam Fetter into the pits once again. And Pam looks like she's going to be out of this one as number 12 spins out on the back straightaway, and the yellow flag flies as Lucky Larry takes over second position, and Marvin Catlin and that Fashion's 5 car and the 5.95 is going to wind up being in third. 05 in second position, I should say. Lucky Larry Davis. No, let's see. Let's see how they stack up here. I lost something here. Who's our leader? George Benedum. Okay, he's still the leader. 05 in second. Lucky Larry in third. And Marvin Catlin in 5.95 in fourth. .383 right behind that number 88 car of Jeff Johnson. That's Al Kern, and he's hanging right in there. The Transmedics folks out here also with their own private ambulance service. A couple of ambulances out here tonight for our Twin 50 main event. And would you look at that, folks? Here she comes again. Car number 18 made a pit stop back out on the racetrack. Let's yell out her name as she comes by. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Pam Fetter. Almost kissed the wall. And if she can win this one, she'll be kissing her husband, John Fetter, in car number 19 after the races. Okay, here we come around turn number 3 and 4 once again. Fred DeScamp into the pits. Danny Kaiser in 316 also into the pits. George Benedum into the lead as Lucky Larry Davis jumps out into second place with John Spearman currently holding on to third, but John's being challenged by Marvin Catlin in 5.95. And Catlin takes the high road and Spearman takes the low road. They're side by side for third position. Spearman overtakes Catlin. Catlin goes wide, and I don't know if Spearman pushed him up against there or not. And we've got another one loose there and almost bringing out the yellow. Good job of driving by that car number 88 of Jeff Johnson. George Benedum here later in this one. And we've got another spin out. It looks like Marvin Catlin spinning out. The guy that was in third place spins out at turn, or just beyond turn number 2. Catlin, your second place car, spinning out. And let's see if that's going to bring out the yellow. The halfway insignia is out. No, it's not. Yellow flag is out for Marvin Catlin up on the berm just beyond turn number 2. So that brings out the yellow flag once again. So George Benedum will have the gap closed up. And Larry Davis in 77. Uh-oh, look at 82. 82 looks like he might have lost a tie rod on that thing. That's Gene King from Sierra Vista, the Amsoil Fuel Synthetic car and the Clark Tire and Auto Center. Into the pits for Gene King. So, 5 laps down in this consolation race on a trick-or-treat night. Trick-or-treat, smell my feet. No, you don't want to. What do you mean, yeah? Wait a minute now. This is the consolation race. The fellows that are up front will be put and placed into the semi-main event. So the top 4 cars in this race, when it's all over with, under the checkered flag, will be able to be entered into the semi-main event for the NASCAR Chargers. So all you need to do is get one of those 4 front positions, and you've got it into the semi. And if you can work your way up in the semi to the top 4, you can get into the main event. And that's what these fellas are all trying to do. This is the consolation race. This gives them a chance to get into the main event, but they got to go through the ranks. So Marvin Catlin getting the hook put on him. Well, what happened to Marvin, I wonder? He's been a real contender this year. Wasn't out here all year, but came toward the latter part. What was that? Was that an earthquake? Oh, no, that's the cameraman on the roof. Oh, Tucson on tapes. That's what he's trying to tell me. While we have a moment here, this gentleman up here freezing his himself. That's the man, Dan Johnson, for Tucson on tapes. And he's taping all the racing action here tonight and all the past races here at Raven Raceway for just $19.95. All the heat races, interviews with your favorite drivers, all the main events, and trophy presentations. Tucson on tapes, located at the video booth right next to the main concession. Hot chocolate and coffee for just $1. That's a large hot chocolate and a large coffee. No refills, please, but just $1. Homemade chili for $1.25. And it's absolutely delicious, and it's really homemade. Cheese boards for $1.25. Consists of 3 kinds of cheese: Swiss cheddar, Monterey Jack, along with assorted crackers and a really hot pepper. Well, Mark Kuhn out of this one in the ambulance right now, but George Benedum is still in the thick of things as George leads him down the front straightaway. Your current leader with Lucky Larry Davis in second position. And can Larry hang on and catch up to that man in number 111 of George Benedum? John Spearman in 05 car in third position with 383 Al Kern. Now currently in fourth position with Jeff Johnson in that number 88 car in fifth. Benedum pours it on, heads toward 1 and 2. And we've got almost a mishap over here at turn number 4, but the yellow flag does not come out. The green flag still flies. George Benedum still leads this one. Can Lucky Larry Davis catch him? 54 into the infield right now of Fred Descamp. Fred from Tucson. Lap number 7 just going by. George Benedum leads it. Lucky Larry Davis in second place. 05 car currently in third position. Look out, number 88, Jeff Johnson has a flat tire trying to make his way into the pits, and Fetter almost gets him. And 23T almost winds up in a mishap. Oh, 318, I'm sorry. Anyway, Jeff Johnson out of this one. But that man right there in the car number 111 is not out of it. Lucky Larry Davis in 77 has one whale of a job to do if he's going to catch George Benedum. White flag out for George Benedum in the car number 111. One more lap for that man also, Lucky Larry Davis in the number 77. All right, your third place car coming up right here, 05. Can he hold on to third place? Getting a little shaky there coming out of turn number 4. And look at that, Larry Artman in 99 in 4th position. And Larry may be into our semi-main event if he can just hold on. 222 smoking up a storm. George Benedum in number 111 wins it. Lucky Larry Davis in the car number 77 winds up in 2nd place. A good job by him. Here comes 05. And the battle goes on for, look at this side-by-side, 0499, 99 overtakes him over Larry Edmond, gets in front of John Spearman right at the checkered flag with Pam Fetter in the car number 18, following behind him, but I believe Pam was in the pits and she did not wind up in 5th place, but a good charge by Pam. Larry Artman and John Spearman right down to the checkered flag. Let's give him a good hand. George Benedum in car number 111. Woo-hoo! I've never seen so much close action as I have tonight here at Raven. Right down to the finish. Look at 99. Good job, Larry Artman. The consolation race, the first 4 will be in the semi-main event. I'll give you 5 minutes to get your luck. Haas Tillis, your pole sitter, and Haas getting a little bit anxious, jumping up in front of Pierre, but he falls back. Pierre will try to stay alongside of Haas Tillis. All right, here we go. Here they come on. No, yellow flag. One more lap, trying to get that. So next time around, we're going to black flag Gary's towing, get him off the racetrack. I thought it was funny. Of course. Never mind. Okay. Haas Tillis, Pierre, Eric Bass, Norm Metcalf, Ron Bishop, Dwight Elder, Bob Miller, Perry Duffick, Leroy Johnson, David Henkin. Pick out your favorite car and let's go green flag as George Camp looks at him and going through turn number 3, and here they come out of 4. Camp flies the green as Haas Tillis leads him down the front straightaway. And look at Pierre Mick in that car number 25, overtaking Haas Tillis, and Pierre jumps way on the inside, and green flag still flying. Good job, guys and gals. Pierre, your leader in this one. Eric Bass looks like he's in 2nd position right now, but that man right there is your current leader in the car number 25 of Pierre. And the battle goes on. Ron Bishop in the thick of things, and Ron almost being taken out, but Ron holds on to it, fights the wheel, and jumps into 2nd place. That car number 98 of Ron Bishop, the Bishop floor covering car. And I'll tell you what, that guy right there wants this one, that car number 25 of Pierre. The Vail Valley Lumber car, Ron Bishop in that Bishop floor covering car, currently in 2nd place, but he's got company right on his rear. But the company getting a little bit wobbly right there in the back straightaway. And don't count out Haas Tillis. He's still in it in 4th position. Pierre pours it on down the front straightaway. Bishop in 2nd position. The car number 9T behind Bishop. Pierre goes way wide. Ron Bishop jumps out in front and overtakes Pierre, as Pierre had some handling problems or mechanical problems, and now Pierre falls back into 3rd position. Ron Bishop in the car number 98 in 1st. The car number 9T, Bob Miller, currently in 2nd position. Pierre does he have a flat tire? Pierre, car number 25, was leading the semi-main event, driving on a flat tire. Bob Miller in 2nd position. Ron Bishop in 1st position. Haas Tillis in that 91 in 3rd, and Pierre holding on to 4th place, but not for long because he's got a flat tire. And Pierre heads it into the pits, and he's out of this one. That car number 25, the Vail Valley Lumber car. Yellow flag flies. And the yellow flag comes out once again. And Ron Bishop at the green flag will be your current leader with that car right there. I'm really impressed by that man. 9T of Bob Miller from Thatcher, Arizona. Car number 91, Hostilis, hanging in there. And Norm Metcalf also currently in 4th position. Doug Fryer in the car number 65 into pit field tonight. Colin Germain in car number 7 having a problem into the pits tonight. And Colin may be out of this one. Let's see what happens. So Bishop making his way toward the front and taking advantage of Pierre and his flat tire. Lucky Larry Davis, look at that. All the way up from the rear, about in the middle of the pack. Perry Dufek and that number 14 car making his way up. So Ron Bishop will be your current leader once this one gets underway, and let's see if Ron can stave off that 9T. Very impressive car from Thatcher, Arizona. Jeff Dwight in car number 11 into pit field. Dwight Elder in that 3T car, currently in 6th position. Off of 4 they come, but George Camp tells them, slow it down, Mr. Ron. Slow it down so the rest of them can catch up, and we'll get this one back under the green. All right, Ron Bishop, your current leader. Bob Miller, 19, 2nd position. Hostilis at 91, currently holding on to 3rd place. Norm Metcalf at number 62 in 4th. Perry Dufek in car number 14 in 5th. Dwight Elder in number 3T, currently running in 6th place. Eric Bass in 4E in 7th. And Lucky Larry Davis in 77 in 8th position. George Benedum in that car number 111, all the way up from the rear, currently in 9th place. And look at that. Car number 25, Pierre, gets his tire fixed, gets back out on the racetrack, stalls it by the Ratliff roofing sign, but gets it back going again. No, I guess he didn't stall it. He was just waiting on the rest of them. So George Camp told Ron Bishop, hey, buddy, you slow it down. And Ron's listening to Mr. George. Ron doesn't want to get black flagged or put toward the rear. And he tells the rest of the folks, slow it up. George Benedum, very, very impressive tonight. In that 111 car, you see where he's at right now, and he brought it all the way up from the rear into that position he's in right now. Sheila Van Hoff, a real competitor here at Raven this year in the car number 22. David Henkin in 69, also a top contender here in the 1987 season. Larry Artman, each week I see this fella, he gets better and better. Leroy Johnson in 28, Gordon Langston in 46, Harold Davidson in 454, Tom Lanny in number 47, Doug Fryer in 65, Mark Schmidt in 59. Green flag flies as Ron Bishop once again leads him down the straightaway into the turn. Bishop being trailed by Bob Miller, number 9T. And Hostilis holding on to 3rd position in that car number 91, and we've got one spun And let's see if he can get out of this one and keep the green flag out. Lets everybody go by. Let's hope that he can do it. And I think he's going to do it. And he does do it. And the green flag stays out. Good job of driving. It looks like number 3T. We've got 59 out. And that will mean that the yellow flag will be out once again. 6 laps down. As number 59, Mark Schmidt, driving tonight for Willie Russel. And that number 59 car spinning out there at turn number 4. Boy, that was the best Coke I had all night. I'll tell you. That Linda Manus, that was good Coke. Coca-Cola. I'm teasing her. She was going to bring me up a Coke a little bit earlier, and she's got a memory about like me. Number 69, Texas started. Nope, he didn't start in Texas. He Texas started, which means he jumped the gun a little bit. Now, after this race, any adult that wants to participate in the costume contest, meet the Wolfman at the telephone booth. And we've got some prizes for the best costume tonight. So any adult that wants to participate or whatever in the costume contest, meet Wolfman at the telephone booth in the main concession area after this race. All right, 15-lap event, a few of them gone, but a few of them left, as Ron Bishop in number 98 goes for the win on this one with Bob Miller in number 9T in second position. Look at that. Hostilis holding on to third right now, and Norm Metcalf in 62, and Norm pours it on as Perry Duffick in 14 goes side by side with Metcalf. Duffick overtakes him down the back straightaway and gets about a half a car length on him. And Duffick he did take sole possession of fourth place, but goes wide and wobbly, and now he's going to be battling with George Benedum, who jumps out in front of him. But Duffick brings it back on the inside, overtakes Duffick, and gets right on the tail of number 62 of Norm Metcalf. Ron Bishop, still your current leader, and Bob Miller in 9T trying to look at the battle going on between Duffick and Metcalf, and look out there, and Lucky Larry Davis taking advantage of that whole situation, but Lucky Larry goes a little bit wide. Duffick gets on the inside. Metcalf up against the wall by the Biff Baker sign. Let's hope he can get it back under control and keep out the green flag. Your leader, Ron Bishop, in 98, opens up the gap just a little bit more from Bob Miller, number 9T. Look at that. Would you look at that from the rear of the pack? George Benedum holding on to third position right now and about to overtake another car right up in front of him. Looks like Metcalf in 62 is going to be out of this one. Benedum overtaking 9T, and 9T into the pits also. And George Benedum coming up from the rear. Looks like, Lucky Larry Davis's luck has run out in turn number 3 as he spins out or winds up against the berm at turn number 3. Now, do you believe this guy right here, that car number 111, that man was in last place at the beginning of this race and now is currently holding on to second position. So Ron Bishop holding on to this one, but the yellow flag comes out. This will bunch him up. George Benedum all the way up from the rear of the pack, winding up in second position right now. Perry Duffick in that car number 14. That's your third place car. So Ron Bishop, your current leader in this 15-lap semi-main event for the NASCAR Chargers. George Benedum bringing it up from last place all the way up in the second position. Gordon Langston in car number 46, currently holding on to third position. John Federer in number 19 in fifth. Perry Duffick in the car number 14 in the fifth position. Number 454, Harold Davidson, currently holding on to sixth position. Bishop leads him around 3 and 4. Off the number 4 corner they come. George does not like it because we've got 454, it looks like, stalled over there just before turn number 3. So he cannot bring out the green. So let's see if they're going to leave him back out there. And 454 having a little bit of a problem over there. Jeff Dwight back out on the racetrack. Harold Davidson, who is currently in sixth position, looks like he's going to be pushed into the infield right now. And Harold will be out of this one. Or Harold, I should say. Uh-oh, look at that. Sheila Banhoff 22 into the infield. Nice try, Sheila. So 4-5-4 out of this one. George Camp into this one with one finger in the air and the yellow flag out, indicating one more time around. Gary's towing. Oh, he's doing such a good job here at Raven and on the streets of Tucson. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for the fire crew, all the guys here from the Air National Guard, and our own ambulance, and the Transmedic ambulance out here doing ever such a good job here at Raven Raceway this year. I think we're going green. What do you folks think? Here they come toward turn 3, off of turn 4. White and green flag flies. One more lap for that man. Car number 98, Ron Bishop leads. George Benedum down the front straightaway. Gordon Langston right in the thick of things, currently holding on the third position. John Federer in car number 19 in fourth, with being challenged by Perry Duffick in car number 14. Half a lap to go for Ron Bishop in that 98 car. Bishop floor covering 98, headed for the checkered flag. George Benedum right behind him, winds up in second as Ron Bishop wins it. Gordon Langston winds up in third. Benedum did take second position, and John Federer wound up in fourth. Perry Duffick in that car number 14 wound up in fifth, and Larry Artman wound up against the wall over in turn number 2, and it looks like he wound up against the wall with that car number 77 of... Whew, Larry, we're going to have to change your name to Unlucky Larry tonight, because having a little bit of bad luck in that friendly auto sales car, and Larry just a great supporter here at Raven Raceway. Well, Ronnie, you did it again. Let's give him a good hand, folks. That Bishop floor covering car, car number 98, Ron Bishop. Good job, Ron. And good job by George Benedum. And George coming up from the rear all the way into second position. And these guys, the top 4, Benedum, Bishop, Langston, and Federer, will wind up in the 50-lap main event Okay, you folks that want to get in on the adult Halloween costume contest, head over to the telephone booth or telephone over there.
Okay, we're going to have just a very, very short intermission tonight because the late model's getting ready to come out. We got two little things we'd like to do for you. And while we're doing this, we got a little Budweiser thing here we're going to do. And then we'll get the main event for the late models out here right off the bat, and we'll be ready to run them. So we're going to have Jack Jacobs come down here now, and he'll tell you what's going on. And then all the kids, for what kids are here that would like to get, we got some trick-or-treat presents for the kids. Go out to the bandstand, which is out there where the motorcycles are on display. Take your time. There's plenty for everybody. And there's little trick-or-treat presents out there for the kids. We'll take care of that, and then we're going to do an adult costume thing down here in just a few minutes and take care of that. You ready, Jack?
I was ready, boss. Oh, yes, he's right here. Oh, look at this. This is a 1928 Ford from Golden Eagle Distributors, the folks at Budweiser. Well, tonight, as you know, folks, is Bud Night here at the races. And speaking of Bud Night, here's Budman.
Hey, I'm here to race old models.
What do you mean, old models? This is late models.
Old models, late models, what's the difference? I'm here to race and I know I can win.
You're here to race and you know you can win, huh? Okay, he thinks that he can win. Anyone here willing to take on the Budman? A lot of folks up in the stands, I can see that. I say, anybody here willing to take on the Budman? We gave him the cue. You gonna do a dance for us, Budman?
It's Ricky Sipes, he's a little slow.
There he is, right there. He's gonna take on the Budman. Well, you guessed it, folks. That's Rick Sipes in the Budweiser 4U car. And he's going to challenge the Budman. We got the flagman all set up there. Okay, this is a 50-lap event. Oh, you didn't buy that, huh? And the winner of this gets Miss Trick-or-Treat over here. No, not yet. Not yet. No, we'll get the treat a little bit later. All right, you folks, are you guys ready? How about it, Budman? Are you ready? How about it, Mr. Sipes? Are you ready? No? All right, who wants the Budman to win? Who wants Rick Sipes to win? Are you ready, George? All right, you guys send them off, okay? On the cut, you start your engine, Rick. You got to start your engine to race this race. You're going to push it? Oh, you're not going to start it? All right, we're going to do a Riverside start here. On the count of 3, you folks do it, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go! Sipes moves it out in front. The Budman falls back just a little bit. Rick Sipes, your current leader in this one. The Budman pours it on, headed for the back straightaway. I'm getting out of here. And the Budman tries to overtake Sipes. Rick Sipes pours it on once again down the front straightaway. White flag out for Rick Sipes. Is he going to win this one? Here comes the